Hello YouTube, I'm back. This is my third video. Looking back in these few short minutes that I've recorded, I realized that it's really not as hard as I thought to get online. But at the end of my second video, I realized I missed a point. I was going over some symptoms and signs of domestic violence, and I kind of went off on a tangent. What I meant to say was she had, if not a documented history with the law enforcement agency of whatever county, she had a history in her previous divorce proceedings. I actually hired the exact same lawyer that her previous husband had hired, and he shared with me and shared with the judge in a hearing, in one of the two hearings he was in, that the domestic violence, and I hate to say allegations because it was absolutely 100% true in my world, but that these types of allegations were also present in the divorce proceedings of her first marriage. So there is a trend there. And I ended my second video withholding a comment that I wanted to make because I was running over time. I'm going to try to make these in 10-minute increments. That seems reasonable to me for whatever reason. But the important thing that I wanted to share was this. I can easily accept their offer for settlement and become a father who sees his son once a month. Unacceptable. The court orders as they are at the moment allow me every single weekend, and I enjoyed that for a couple of months. But at one point in time, when the house was for sale, it was brought under contract. There was a buyer, and I had 3 weeks to move. I had nowhere to go. I didn't have any money. She had, to my face, spoken about moving to Spokane, Washington. And I thought to myself, well, I can move somewhere local for the short term, and if and when she moves to Spokane, I won't be able to afford it. So I made arrangements. I literally quit my job. Locally, they accepted it. They knew what I was going through. Very supportive. But they are also a national, well, actually a global company, and they have an office in Spokane. And they pulled some strings, and they got me an interview. And here I am with the same company in Spokane. But she didn't move here, and I need to move back now. Okay, backtracking. I never finished my point. The important thing. This is the important thing I wanted to share at the end of my second video. I believe it's important. I believe that I can lay down and basically give up my rights as a father. Allow her to raise him exclusively without my input or presence. Relegate me to a mere visitor into his life, not a father. Not a teacher. I could just roll over and let her have her way. She's made the offer through her lawyer. I'm an every other weekend father if I'm local or living in Spokane, as I am currently with her on the west side of the mountains, Seattle-ish area. Either way, I could be every other weekend or one weekend per month in her eyes. I disagree with both options. Both parents should be present. I could give up. I could just pay my child support and let her bring him up. But here's the thing. I know that she does not raise him or care for him in the manner that I think he should be raised, in the manner that I think he should be cared for. So if one parent, me, believes that the other parent is not meeting his needs, the good, caring parent, again me, is forced to take up the slack. I'll tell you this honestly, if I knew in my heart that she was a good mother, that she held his needs and priorities as the most important thing in her life, instead of just being a secondary tag along, I probably wouldn't fight so hard. She does not raise him, teach him, take care of him to my standards. So I have to try to do so. And I can't believe 8 minutes and 16 seconds have passed. I really haven't gotten to my point. Here's the point. I try to not talk about my divorce and all the intricacies and all the banality of it with my coworkers. I don't want to alienate them. I don't want to be that guy that just goes on and on about it. But I do share some things. Every once in a while, important things. And what drives me forward, and this is the key right here after 9 minutes. What drives me forward is this. He's only 2.5 now, a little over. I could walk away, I could pay child support, she could raise him. No. Because I think to myself, I flash forward to the future, and I think when he's 17, 16, 17, 18, doesn't matter. I see him in my mind. I envision this, and he's looking at me and this. And it breaks my heart to just think about the possibility that he would ask, Dad, why? Why didn't you fight for me? Wasn't I important to you? Wasn't I important enough to fight for? Now here's the hook. I shared this thought with a coworker. And to my surprise, he shared with me that many years ago he had had a son with what he called a woman he, let's be nice, he couldn't get along with, or she couldn't get along with him. But that was in the state of Washington. Shortly after he was born, he had a new girlfriend and he moved to Boston. And he never really kept in touch with his son. A few years ago, his son turned 18. And when I conveyed to him that the reason I go through this heartache, the reason that I don't roll over and die, the reason that I continue to push court action, the reason that I won't just tuck tail and run, the reason that I don't let this pain end, and I want it to end. I don't want to fight. I want to go back to my life. But the reason is because of Austin. And I don't want him to grow up and ask me that question. That very same question that quite literally my coworker said his estranged son asked him. My coworker had no answer. My coworker lived his life. Well, my son is my life. I want to live in one of a couple or three places. That's not going to happen. I'm going to move back and be near him. He will never ask that question of me. I am going to fight until I die. He's my son. He needs his father. And I'm missing some of the best moments of his life. Well, my 10-minute mark is gone. 13 minutes, 20 seconds now. Let me go off on a tangent. I covered the points I wanted to. The tangent is this. And I hate to admit it. I know that most men are probably as emotional as I am, but are much better at hiding it. I wear my emotions on my sleeve. It's a hindrance at times. But I've cried every single day that I've been away from my son. Every single day. Sometimes 30 seconds driving to work. Sometimes I'm at work. It's hard to deal with people when I'm so sad. And I try not to think about them, which as a parent you know is impossible. But to do something so trivial as grocery shopping, I'll go to the local Safeway or Fred Meyer or whatever's nearby, And all I have to do is walk by an aisle and hear somebody else's child cry out, "Daddy," or "Mama." And I do exactly this. I tear up. I'm on the edge of crying. I mean, don't get me near a toy section. If I try with concerted effort to not think about him, it never works. I'll give you an example. I was sent to a job recently, to a mine, at the corner of, well, it's the northwest corner of Idaho, northeast corner of Washington, just below the Canadian border. And you're talking a mining community. Miners, real men, they don't show their emotions. They go out hunting, shooting, killing. They have tractors. You know what I'm getting at. So I go there to do some contract work, and there's a mandatory training session. I go to the training room, and the first thing I see on a corkboard is a big banner that says, "The reason that we work here." And under it are many pictures of all the miners' families. And one that stuck out to me was a little boy about Austin's age, and he was standing in his father's boots. I can't get away from it. I can't stop thinking about my son. And I won't be relegated to a weekend father. I won't. If I have to move into the same city block as my soon-to-be ex and give up all my aspirations of living in other places, that's what I will do. I would much rather be a father to my son than pursue my own goals. I think back to when I was a child. Who was the most important person in your life when you were a child? Your parents. I cannot be absent. I will not be absent. Even if that kills me, he's going to have his father. So my goal was a 10-minute video, and it's gone 19 minutes, 12 seconds. I'll do better next time. These 3 videos that I've done so far have been pretty much off the cuff, on the fly, just speaking my heart, speaking my mind. I will continue to make videos, but I'm going to try to be more diligent in keeping them to 10 minutes or so. Thank you for watching. I appreciate all your thoughts and all your support.